What's going on? Happy Tuesday.
Tuesday nights.
Again, it feels a little bit like a Wednesday. I'm not sure why, but
Busy
Tuesday
days.
night,
Busy days.
last day of July. Dean and Jen Gross again here with you guys.
31st.
9:45 on the last day of July. July is
Making a
fun.
rhyme.
It's all about the rhymes.
We
All
hope
about the
everyone
rhymes.
is having a great evening. Hey Cheryl, hey Natalie, what's going on?
This is going to be so awesome to see all of you have me educate you on PMS.
No,
It's got to spark interest when it's, my title is talking about something
coming
PMS.
from a guy's title. Yeah, we probably should have
I'm
went
not an
live.
OBGYN.
We probably should have went live from my feed. But
No, it's
that's
okay.
right.
Maybe they think I'm a subject matter expert.
So natural remedies. We thought about this topic because we were doing some reading on. We follow a lot of Dr. Greger's studies and Dr. Axe. They're really great practitioners, and Dr. Axe is a functional medicine doctor, and Dr. Greger is just a wealth of research information. So we love their studies, but this study came up on over this past week, and we thought it would be a good one to cover, especially when the statistics that were quoted in the studies, like really staggering numbers. I mean, I wasn't aware that like about 90% of women, they claim that they have painful menstrual cramps at some point during their cycle. So to me, like, that's a phenomenal number that we need to have some natural remedies for that. And I know I've been using some that have been really beneficial for me. But then I came across a couple others in this study that were really good to cover.
Yes, for sure.
But
pain is pain. So
yes,
if 90% are reporting discomfort, it's definitely a topic of importance. So
yes, for sure. So the first one we're going to talk about is fennel seed. Fennel seeds, probably the smell of them is kind of like a licorice smell. If you're a cook, then you may use them in the kitchen. But fennel seed has been used in the Mediterranean for years and years and years to help with painful menstrual cramps. So a study was done with fennel seed extract to find out that in comparison to a placebo, which was flour in a capsule, and how women were able to get a reduction in their painful menstrual cramps. And 52% of women in that study saw a dramatic reduction in the pain that they were feeling during their menstrual cycle versus the placebo, which was only 8% reduction. But we know that we don't take flour during our for inflammation or pain at all. So they also wanted to do a study where they put it in comparison to some drugs that we use for pain and inflammation and for dealing with those symptoms during our menstrual cycle. Hey Crystal, what's up? Hey Kimberly, Natalie, everyone, how are you doing? So the study that they did, they put it up against, I mean, if we all think about it, I know for many years I was taking ibuprofen or maybe acetaminophen to help with the pain and cramps during that time, and just in general for pain before we found natural remedies. But there's also another drug, which is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug that isn't over the counter. You have to get a prescription for, and that's mefenamic. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. MEFENAMIC acid, which that acid has, or that non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug has really bad side effects. Some of the side effects, most do. Yes. I mean, some of the side effects were diarrhea, rashes, autoimmune, anemia, kidney toxicity. So just stuff that we really don't want, right? So women went from severe to pain-free after taking both the fennel extract and also the prescription strength drug. And it was just as effective. The natural remedy of the fennel seed extract was just as effective as that prescription strength drug for women, without the nasty side effects. And then another piece to it, when you consider the drug versus the fennel seed with other menstrual symptoms, like the nausea, the weakness, the achiness, the out of sorts feeling. The fennel seed saw a dramatic difference in those as well. Whereas the over-the-counter drug didn't, because all it was treating was for the painful cramping. So that was another big plus on the fennel side, right? No side effects, and you're also treating the other symptoms of the menstrual cycle. Yeah. So really good stuff. But there is a downside to fennel seed. With fennel seed, the increase in the blood flow is 10% higher, which isn't a good thing, because many women across the country suffer from anemia, especially during that time of the month. So there is something that is another option as well, that's a natural side effect, that is natural and can alleviate the painful cramping, also the nasty side effects of PMS, such as mood swings, the weakness, the achiness, the out of sorts feeling, and that is ginger.
But before you even go into that, you know, that possible negative may not be a negative. I mean, there's a good reason for it, because the uterus contracts, and that's why this is going to give it a relaxation, so a muscle relaxant. So, you know, for other reasons, if you need a muscle relaxer, a natural way of doing it, that's why the flow is a little higher. So again, you could have some iron deficiency, but you may not be that extreme. It just may be more than what you're used to. But it's because, and you won't have that pain because you don't have that's hard uterine contractions. So,
which is going to relax.
Yeah.
Which actually, fennel seed has also been used for children with colic.
Yeah.
Because of the intestinal cramping and contraction, it's relaxing their intestinal lining. So it's been way beneficial to the prescription strength drug that's given to babies for colic, which actually has a side effect of death. Yeah. So I think I'd take the fennel seed over that.
Yeah, and you could possibly combine what you're about to talk about.
Yes. So yeah. So good point on that. But ginger is a wonderful natural remedy. It's great for so many things. But it helps reduce bleeding, and it's also really effective with cramps, the painful cramps that come with the menstrual cycle. So if you can implement 1/8 of a teaspoon per day, 3 times a day, during your cycle, there have been studies that have been done that have seen dramatic decrease in the cramps, but also the other side effects of the menstrual cycle, such as your PMS, your mood, your physical, and your behavioral symptoms alongside that. So just 1/8 of a teaspoon 3 times a day during your cycle. And then if you take it a week before, it's going to help with the PMS symptoms. So you would take it 1/8 of a teaspoon 2 times a day a week before, to help address the early signs or the PMS symptoms that you might face. There was something else on that.
Well, ginger as a whole, we've talked about. So, you know, hopefully it's already a steady part of your diet, and if not, to incorporate it, because not only for obviously these symptoms, but it's just an anti-inflammatory superfood as it is.
Yes.
And so for pain and inflammation, again, the concentration here is PMS, but for other forms of pain and inflammation, ginger's been great for.
Really good for stomach issues and
so it's definitely something you want to incorporate, but this specific requirement she's saying there really helps in this category.
Yeah, and the effects on the blood loss, the study that was done on that, it went from 1/2 cup during your cycle to 1/4 cup.
Right.
So a 50% reduction in blood loss. So that's really significant. And then that covers the second natural remedy. So then the third natural remedy that we wanted to talk about tonight is an essential oil, which is clary sage.
Yes.
And clary sage has been used, the plant, for so many years in Eastern medicine, but we also follow Dr. Axe, and this was some of his information. But clary sage, one of its wonderful components is for balancing hormones. And the reason that it's great for hormonal balancing is because of the phytoestrogen components that the plant has inherently in itself. Yeah. So it's really good for hormonal balancing. It helps with cramps. It helps with heavy flows, hot flashes. So even women that are going through menopause, it's been really helpful in dealing with the hot flashes and the hormonal balances that you face during that time of your life as well. So not just during your menstrual cycle, which your hormones are going crazy during that, but also your PMS symptoms as well. So it's going to help address bloating, cramps, mood swings, and even cravings. So it's a great natural remedy in working through and balancing your hormones. And I personally use a product. It's an essential oil product that blends together fennel seed and clary sage, and an easy to use product that I use every single day just for my own hormonal balancing. But then through my cycle, I incorporate it multiple times throughout the day, and I have seen a dramatic difference since incorporating that essential oil blend into my regimen.
And we have a lot of clients that use that particular product in
menopausal and for menstrual.
And many women we know just rave about it. So, I mean, hormonal balance is such a powerful thing. Like we said, this is a female thing, and no one's gonna understand this better than a female. But anytime the topic is talking about pain and discomfort, cramping, and hormonal imbalance, which can cause so many things, such as PMS does, if you can find a natural remedy that is really working well, it's so important to get that out. And so we definitely want to make sure, if you're not aware of some of these things, definitely try them.
Yes.
Direct message us regarding some of those blends or even that essential oil products. Again, I've seen so much positive feedback on that because obviously, being a guy, we don't always understand. We see it a little bit and understand a little bit, but until you're experiencing it, that hormonal imbalance and some of that pain and discomfort, it's hard to tackle. So anything you can do to make it better and more tolerable is obviously a big plus. So
yes, in a natural way without all the nasty side effects. For sure. So if you haven't tried fennel seed extract, fennel seed essential oil, ginger, and clary sage essential oils, wonderful natural remedies to help you during this time of your month or this time of your life, whether it's premenopausal or postmenopausal, really helpul to benefit your hormonal
and just overall benefit, even if you're not experiencing these symptoms. All the three of those
natural balancing,
great natural balancing for your body,
for sure. But like Dean said, private message us, shoot us a comment on this feed if you think this is helpful. Definitely give us a thumbs up or a heart. We really love that. You're helping us spread the message. And a share is even better because you're helping us spread the message of vibrant, energized living. Menstrual menopause. Yeah.
Just for me. What's up, Erica?
So yeah, like, comment, and share if you think this is going to help someone in your sphere of influence. Definitely share it.
Yes. And it's 9:57, so can we
call it a night?
You guys have a great Tuesday. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.